The elementary particles is where we come in at. We grow from elementary out to element, see? Into what we call atoms, into what we call molecules, into what we call a structure, a crystalline formation. And we keep on growing as we accumulate. Without minerals, you wouldn't even have no skin. So if the body needs 102 minerals, or it needs to keep it at 102 minerals, and then you go take sea moss and you getting 108, depending on what you got mixed in it, bladderwrack, or, it could be a sour sop, something, but you put something in that sea moss to help the body's cells drink, right, and digest and defecate, okay? The cells have to defecate because they've been what you call bitten. When your blood cells get bitten by the vampire, you got bacteria in there having sex with your blood cells. And I'm putting it like that because I want you to know that's what they do. They fornicate with your cells and impregnate your cells, and then you got dirty blood floating around in your body because we're not constantly letting our body cleanse itself. The alkalinity keeps the body dumping off toxins at will when you get the body in proper rhythm. You don't even have alkaline discussions anymore. You won't need to because you're going to go, I work out every day. I drink 2 gallons of water a day. I'm always eating green vegetables, and I'll have a fruit every now and then. If I eat some protein, it's fish, from salmon, tuna to, maybe something that's kosher for us to eat. And I use the word kosher lightly, so please don't get religious on, all right? Now, I'm only saying that to say it's simple to keep your alkaline together without taking products. We living in a day and time where if you don't have the intelligence to take care of yourself, a doctor will gladly kill you as a part of their practice. Man. So you better keep your alkalinity up, because they're studying why it's so easy for the elder to be beyond 65 and 70 and look 30. They want that. They can't get that unless they tell me and you there's a COVID-19 out there. See? And then out of your fear and ignorance of self, you run right on in there to a wizard in a lab coat with a stethoscope. What is he listening to? Your heart, your breathing. See? Don't they check your breathing first? Then they do x-ray, hit you with the X.
Your blood pressure.
They hit you with the unknown rays. That's what the letter X represents, unknown. So if they're hitting you with some light, they're trying to see through. They got to blast through a barrier. And the only thing that keeps that barrier shut would be lead. But we don't have a lot of lead in our body. We just use lead. So they're not going to say, hey, this is dangerous. They're just doing it. Part of their practice, they're studying your anatomy to find out what's wrong with theirs, not really what's wrong with you. And there's too many of our elders that go in there and fall victim to it. I had too many people going, man, you gonna go get a colonoscopy? I said, for what? You 40 now, you gotta go get it. I said, man, I don't gotta do shit. Now you letting them stick, and no offense to anybody that did, but these are perverted people. There's other ways to check a colon. You don't need to go in my butt. Okay? This is where the sickness comes in at. We let doctors violate us thinking that's the only way. That's ignorance. They thrive on that ignorance, right? So we keep our mineral intake up. You won't have to go in there talking about colonoscopy. You know how to clean your own colon out, and you do it often. You do it monthly. You do it so often that you're your own physician. You can heal your body from anything at that moment. So once again, you can discharge any type of charge they put on you at the hospital with this type of information. With the information that young elders talked about earlier, fourth elder, Dr. Sebi information, it's a whole bunch of healers out there. Now I could go down a list of names and name at least 25, 30 healers. But we're all healers. That's what I'm trying to get at. We're all healers. And the secret is supercharge yourself electrically. You burn off the toxins. Why do you think we get feverish? They call it a virus because the soul is cooking and the chemistry of the body has to separate the sickness from the body. So the body got to heat up and then it turns into sweat. So the body is chemically processing whatever this virus is right out of the body. It's pushing it right out. Now go think about that when you watch a werewolf movie. You see a dude shoot one and then he just squeezes the bullet out of his body. And you just be like, man, that dude just spit a bullet out. They know how the body operates. So they tease you with things that they know you want to do, but you really don't understand where it even starts. It starts with the body having a natural alkaline rhythm. You'll be able to just throw whatever it is that don't belong out, and you'll heal a whole lot faster. And breathing is a major part of that. Because if you got a fever and you ain't breathing, you're going to sweat anyway. But if you're breathing, you start pushing that stuff out a whole lot faster.
Hey, fever is a symptom just about for every disease. So it's a fact. Go ahead.
That's right. That's like baptism by fire. You get that fever. What they say when they turn it a fever into something seductive, it's a song called You Give Me Fever, right? When women talk about it, right? We use it in a seductive manner. So you know fever is something that you look at as something good. It's not something bad. You want to take it and make it mean something bad? Then do it that way. Make it seductive and not make it healing. But fevers are for healing. The body has to vent in order to get anything that's inside the body out. One of the main ways is throw up. Puke, regurgitation, right? You throw it up first, and then immediately when you throw up, you say, I feel so much better. You be in the toilet, be your best friend then. Won't even clean that mug, but you laying next to it when you gotta throw up something that don't belong. That's part of your healing powers. Throw up. My aunt used to tease me all the time at the dinner table when I was younger. She said, slow down, Moni, you gonna bust. And I used to be like, bust? I ain't seen a person bust yet. Eat. Have y'all seen anybody bust eat? I mean, just bust. And I was like, this is when I learned black people, Nubians, we have a knack for over-exaggerating. I used to be worried about busting when I was 10 years old. I gotta slow down. I'm about to top out. No, man, what really happens is you'll puke, you'll throw up, you'll start regurgitating food. You can't keep eating. The body's not designed where you can just overflow it, override its natural systems that go against your ignorant brain. The natural systems go, whoa, hold up, buddy. We didn't have enough. And you going, more gravy, please. Gravy, gravy. You think you could just keep eating. And then you top out. Now you leaning back and you got to unbuckle your belt buckle at the dinner table and be all disgusting and nasty. You know your ass should have slowed down. And then we're Thanksgiving on that day. So gluttony has become a part of what you call a fad or a way of life in this place we live in order to cause extra sickness, in order to bring you right on into the hospital. Also, a lot of people died of gluttony. Cancer, gluttony. Diabetes, gluttony. A lot of this stuff is gluttony. You might think it's gluttony over all food. It be gluttonies on one thing. Most people that become diabetics are gluttons what? On sugar. So your body don't produce no more sugar. When your body say fuck it, that means you getting it from an outside external source. You always getting it from an external source, and you're never letting the body put the sugar in the body. See? You just override it with gluttony. And then when you become the diabetic, then you got to try to reverse the effects. And it hurts. It's very painful. It's not something that feels good. You got dizzy spells. People be passing out and shit with diabetes. And it's something that we say is hereditary. The only thing that's hereditary is what we're eating as a whole family unit. And once that starts to change, like we all learned, then everything else, you start to heal yourself. Dr. Sebi said he healed his diabetes in 60 days, drinking herbs. See, herbs that what? Clean out the organs, detoxify the organs. That's where you got to start. You detoxify your organs, going into the endocrine system, you're going into your lungs. You want everything cured or healed. And you want to continue fasting until the effects of what it is that you think diabetes is gone. Dr. Sebi was impotent and he was going blind, see, and cured himself and became an international hero to people that find it very hard to be that disciplined. He had no choice, but he wasn't going to let nobody to keep telling him he was on his deathbed if he knows he's the last say-all on when he dies. And as you can see, how they got him was in a Honduras jail cell. So you already know they compromised his immune system. In order to do that, his body might have been what? Too alkaline. See, if it's too alkaline, then guess what? It becomes toxic to himself. You got to balance things out. Your body is not meant to be totally electric. You have a spirit for that.
Thanks.
When you get out of the body, your spirit is the electrical body that houses the soul, which is the emotional you, or your emotions that you collected and carried. The emotional conscious gases bottled up in a spiritual form. So keep your exercise up. Tell people this all the time. Exercise is exorcism. You can keep the demons out of you as long as you exercise. Demons is toxins, demons is bacteria, demons is fungus, demons is disease, viruses, anything you could think of as a microorganism that compromises the system and causes you to act other than your own self. You become the parasite. See, if the parasite is driving the body, the parasite will have you foaming at the mouth, bloodshot red eyes, biting people, all kinds of stuff, because they override the natural system of the brain, and now they're tapped in and they're controlling the starship.